everybody, welcome to Mindset versus Motivation. And today I wanted to briefly talk about how your childhood has affected the way you approach business ventures, relationships, and basically every area of your life. Now, I'm not making this video to drag the parents, okay? Your parents only know how to parent you from their parents' behavior. They learned how to parent you from their parents' behavior, how they were parented as a child. Now, some may have been poorly parented, such as abuse, emotional, physical, neglect, etc., etc. Some have had good parents, okay? And then there's some parents that just, should not have been parents. Okay, so we're going to, throw this out that just because you have the title of parent, that means that you are, or they are, holier than thou and free of flaw and mistakes. Okay, so I come across videos where people say, don't allow your childhood has nothing to do with what's going on with you today. Stop blaming your parents. And I understand where they are coming from. At a point in your life, you have to release the negative beliefs that your parents instilled in you. Release the pain, release the trauma, but it takes work and it takes time, and you may need someone like a therapist, a psychiatrist, someone to help you process these emotions and get through the trauma. But today I'm going to pull out of a book, and the author is Brian Tracy. The name of the book is Maximum Achievement: Strategies and Skills That Will Unlock Your Hidden Powers to Succeed. And this is what the book looks like, and you may find it 9 times out of 10 on Amazon. But a lot of his information in this book is quite interesting. Please excuse the burn. It's a censor. Just block it out. You know what I mean? So, okay. So, yeah, I'm going to read a little bit from this book. And you can pick it up if you find this very interesting. This is a great book. I made it to page 70. And it just, it's a great book. You should check it out. So I'm just going to pull out some different parts and speak on it. Okay, now, here we go. Children come into the world with no concept. Children learn who they are and how important and valuable they are or aren't by the way they are treated from infancy onward. Infants have a tremendous need for love and touching. You cannot give children too much love and affection in the formative years. Now, let me pause. Most people feel as though you gain your characteristics, or your formative years are the age 1 through 7. 1 through 7. You basically building your self-esteem, getting your self-esteem taught to you, or all of that. You're learning from your parents, you're mocking, you're mimicking, you're learning how to crawl, you're learning how to walk, you're learning how to think, you're learning how to talk, you're learning how to express yourself, those different things. Now, this section is the qualities of children. Children are born with 2 remarkable qualities. The first is that they are born largely unafraid. They come into the world with only 2 physical fears: the fear of loud noises and the fear of falling. All other fears have been taught to child through repetition and reinforcement while the child is growing up. Anyone who has ever tried to raise a small child to the age of 5 or 6 knows that they are not afraid of anything. They will climb up ladders, run out into traffic, grab sharp instruments, and generally do things that appear suicidal to an adult. They have no fears at all until these fears are instilled in them by their parents and others. The second remarkable quality of children is that they are completely uninhibited. They laugh, they cry, they wet their pants, they say and do exactly what they feel like with no concern whatever for the opinions of others. Now, let me pause right there. The reason why we are afraid to jump into business ventures, relationships, take a trip, anything that makes us scary, talk in front of people, anything, is because we were taught that as a child. Children basically do whatever they want to do. They are free-spirited. They believe they are whoever they want to believe. They might believe they're a monster, a dinosaur, a superhero, an astronaut. You know, they use their imagination. They're just free-spirited. You know, they're uninhibited. As adults, we begin to worry about what people think, how they will look at us. Should we do this business? People may think this about us. Should we post this video? People may think this of us. Should we start a YouTube channel? Should we, be in a relationship with this particular person because of what other people think? We were taught that as a child. Let me continue. They are completely spontaneous and express themselves easily and naturally with no inhibitions at all. Have you ever seen a self-conscious baby? Wonderfully enough, this is our natural state. The way you come into the world, unafraid and uninhibited, completely fearless, and able to express yourself freely and easily in all situations. You know this is true because years later, whenever you are in a safe situation with people you trust, you often revert to this natural state of fearlessness and spontaneity. You feel relaxed and comfortable, completely free to let your hair down and be yourself. These are some of the best moments of your life, your peak experiences, when you are truly happy, and they are normal. They are your normal, natural condition. So we are naturally uninhibited. These rules and stuff like that was made to hold us back. You were taught to give up. You were taught to feel unworthy. You were taught to not believe in yourself. You were taught to second guess yourself. These were all taught to you. Okay? Now, how children learn. Now, I want to get into a part where he talks about how, okay, the saboteur, we're going to get into this. The saboteur of success. Okay? Destructive criticism is one of the most harmful of all behavior. It lowers self-esteem, it creates poor self-image, and it undermines the individual's performance in everything he or she attempts. So now you wonder why when you come across a business opportunity or you have a dream or a goal, you're so quick to give up, because you were taught that as a child. Destructive criticism shakes the individual's self-confidence so that he or she feels inferior, tenses up, and makes mistakes whenever he or she attempts anything for which he or she has been criticized in the past. The individual may give up trying at all and simply avoid the area of endeavor altogether. The average parent criticizes his or her children as many as 8 times for every time he or she praises them. Parents criticize their children unthinkingly in an attempt to get them to improve their behavior. But exactly the opposite occurs, because destructive criticism undermines the child's self-esteem and weakens his or her self-concept. Effectiveness decreases rather than increases. The child's performance gets worse, not better. Destructive criticism makes the individual feel incompetent and inadequate. He or she feels angry and defensive and wants a strike back or escape. Performance nosedives. All sorts of negative consequences occur, especially the relationship between the parent and the child deteriorates. Children who are criticized for their schoolwork soon develop a negative association between schoolwork and how they feel about themselves. They begin to hate it and avoid it whenever possible. They see schoolwork as a source of pain and frustration, and because of the laws of attraction and correspondence, they begin to associate with other children with the same attitudes. So I don't know if any of you are familiar, you may be, with the law of attraction and correspondence, but basically, okay, if you're a child and you get good grades and you have a happy, positive attitude, and your children and you know you're ready to go to school, you love schoolwork, you will typically or tend to attract other kids who are like you. That's why when you watch movies and you see the groups of kids, right? This is the perfect example. Groups of kids, you'll see the so-called nerds, they're all together. Then you'll see the jocks, the athletes, they're all together, grouped together. Then you'll see like the popular ones, they're grouped together. Then you'll see the ones that are not so popular, or what they will call, for lack of better time, the quote-unquote losers. And I'm not saying that, but this is, you know, how movies portray it. Losers, they'll be grouped together. Okay, that's due to the law of correspondence, where what the child is thinking, they are attracting their friends. And now, when I started reading these books and understanding the law of correspondence and, you know, stuff like that, I could never understand why some parents would tell their children not to associate with certain types of children, right? If they're good kids, they don't want them associating with bad kids. And there's a reason why. And not just because they're bad and they fear that their kids are going to become bad. It's because they understood the law of correspondence. They understood the law of attraction. They understood that what you think, you attract. They understood that what you are, you will attract to you. So they said, no, I want my kid to graduate. I want my kid to be successful as an adult. I don't want them affiliating with these certain type of kids who stay in trouble, don't go to school, cut class, don't do their homework, get in trouble, getting suspended, getting expelled. They don't want their children affiliating with them, because they know that their behaviors will eventually become their children's behavior. Who you surround yourself around, no matter who you are, whether you're a child or an adult, is who you will become. And they understood this. So and we're going to go on the scale. Now I'm from the hood. Now some parents would be like, well, you know what? Don't associate yourself with someone from the hood. And it's not necessary, may not necessarily be that because they're of a certain ethnicity. They understood the law of attraction and the law of correspondence, that their thoughts will become their children's thoughts. The children in the inner city who, based on their environment, their circumstances, and how they were raised, have a certain type of mindset towards money, towards life, towards this, that, and the other. And they knew that their children may potentially begin to think like that, even though their children had come from a family with money, a good upbringing, a nice peaceful neighborhood. The talk, the conversations that they would have while they are hanging out will affect them in their adulthood. Bing! A light bulb came into my head. Okay? So, okay. So often people make the mistake of thinking they are giving constructive criticism when they are really tearing the other person down, or calling it constructive to rationalize their behavior. Now I'm trying to figure out where I saw the parts. Oh, here it is. Negative habit patterns. Now, this may be the reason why you have certain barriers in your life that won't allow you to leave the job you can't stand, because you know it's safe, it's a safety zone. You're afraid to come out of your comfort zone. Or maybe you want to start a business and you've talked yourself out of it 1,000 times. We're going to get deep into this. 1 second. I'm getting a little parched from reading. Negative habit patterns. There are two major negative habit patterns that we all learn in childhood. There are those that push you forward and those that hold you back. They affect everything you think, feel, and do. They control and determine your destiny in life, and you are only vaguely aware of them. They are called the inhibitive and the compulsive. Understanding their impact in your life and learning how to counteract their influence on your behavior is absolutely indispensable to your achieving the kind of success and happiness that is possible for you. The inhibitive negative habit pattern is learned when a child is told over and over again, don't, get away from that, stop that, don't touch, watch out. The child's natural impulse is to touch, taste, smell, feel, and explore every part of his or her world. When the parents react to the child's exploratory behavior by shouting, by becoming upset, the child is not old enough to understand what is going on. Instead, the child internalizes the message that every time I try something new or different, mommy and daddy gets mad at me and stops loving me. And that may be stuck in your subconscious. So every time you attempt to do something different, maybe you're trying to change who you are. Maybe you're trying to change your personality. Maybe you're trying to change your job. Every time you attempt to do it, this little voice in your subconscious mind is telling you, don't stop that. Watch out. Okay? It must be because I'm too small, I'm incompetent, I'm incapable, I can't. Now, how many times have you told yourself, you can't, I can't do this. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I can't leave my job. I've been here for 20 years. It's making me miserable. I dread coming to work every day, but I can't. I can't step out and start my own business because I don't know anybody. I don't know how to market. I don't know how to do sales. I don't know much about customer service. I can't. It's from your childhood. But you can move past these barriers. You can move past these mental blocks. It takes some work, and we're going to do that on this channel together. Okay, let me get to the fear of failure. This feeling that I can't soon crystallizes into the fear of failure, which a lot of us suffer from. The fear of failure. And the fear of failure is the greatest single obstacle to success in adult life. The fear of failure wells up inside you whenever you think of taking any kind of risk or doing anything new or different involving any risk of loss of time, money, or emotion. So he goes deep into that. I will pull more out of this book, but you should check it out for yourself. Maximum Achievement, Brian Tracy. Strategies and skills that will unlock your hidden powers to succeed. And I felt as though it was important for us to go into childhood experiences and how they affect you as an adult, because people may say, you are a child, it doesn't matter, it's over now, you're grown. No, your childhood has affected the way you think, act, and behave right now, currently, today. Once you discover what these blocks are, what's your subconscious program, how it's playing out in your life as far as who you're attracting, what you're attracting, once you dig into that, then you can start working on other areas of your life. But I feel as though, in my opinion, that you have to dig into your childhood, dig into your past. Sometimes some people's childhood was so dark and disturbing that they may have a blank. They probably can't recall any memories. They draw a blank because they mentally tried to block out whatever horrible experience they had. So they may not remember. But try to think about how your parents raised you. Now, I'm going to speak on myself. I had good parents. The thing that holds me back, or that I'm dealing with, is that I wanted a closer relationship with my mother, and that once my brother passed away when I was 15, and prior to that, she become a little distant, and I understand because you're grieving. When I was younger, I was a latchkey kid, so I spent a lot of time alone. I would walk myself to school. I would let myself in the house. I would make food. I would do my homework. That explains, like right now, that's why I'm kind of the way I am, because I'm so used to doing everything on my own from an early age. And that can be detrimental as well. You feel like you don't need anybody. You feel like you can do everything. You never ask for help. You willing to help people, but you never ask for help. And those are things that I need to work on for myself. So, yes, everybody has some situation or something that affected them in their childhood that they need to try to move beyond in order to have the type of life they desire to have. So I'm getting parched. It's a little hot. And I will see you all on the next video. And I really hope this helped. This video helped you. in some way, shape, or form to at least try to bring back the memories of your childhood, how you were raised, or start on the journey of trying to fix the negative beliefs. And sometimes, like in the book said, parents unthinkingly do things. They don't even realize they're doing it. They feel as though they're trying to protect you. Don't touch that. Don't do that. Stop that. You know, so they don't know what they're doing. There wasn't a parenting book given to every parent that left the delivery room. So people learn as they go. They learn how to parent. They learn how to be parents. If their parents' behavior was not the best, some people take it upon themselves or take the initiative to read books, go to counselors, and stuff like that, so they can become a better parent than what their parents were. So I hope this helps. I will see you all. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to all the new subscribers, and I will see you on the next video.